Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldis and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
Hi there, young stud. Take it away.
Okay, so it's Friday Night Flies. I'm tying a phosphorus Clouser. If you ask me what it means, don't bother.
Phosphorescent.
Phosphorescent.
There you
Okay.
go.
Producer came up with that one.
Don't ask me how to spell it. It's on there. You can read it for yourself.
Pretty much.
Good luck finding it because you'll have to probably Google the damn word like I did. But anyhow, that's got a Friday Night Flies twist right there.
Yeah, so Friday Night Flies, we always have to joke around and have fun. So I'm tying a Clouser up for your chum and coho. Didn't really do one last week. I did one more for the cutthroat and the rainbow trout and pretty much every other trout, bull trout. And so I guess Zach and I sort of did a swap today between last week. So yeah, let's go down and we'll take a look.
Okay, give this sucker a slow roll.
Okay, so this is my phosphorescent Clouser. And so I got white bucktail on the back, and then I got a lot of crystal flash, and I got pink and I guess pearl. I'm using 350 UV den or 350 Superfly den thread. And I'm just using regular bead chain and chartreuse bucktail and deer belly pink hair. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm using a size 4 streamer hook. You can use a size 6 as well. Straight eye. Not at all, no. Okay.
There are definitely no alcoholic beverages being served in the background here.
No, not at all.
No worries. The shop is officially closed, and no one is driving home after the influence.
Okay, so I'm just putting on my bead chain eyes. I've left a good way I like to tell when the eyes are centered properly is that I've got enough room to basically make a good head. If you don't have enough room to have your eye clear, then your beads are too far up, and if you have way too much room, your bead eyes are too far back.
So how far do you want to put it back?
I guess 3/4 of the way down the shank, or 1/4 of the way down the shank.
Okay.
That makes it right. I could have made it a little bit further back, but it's not going to affect it a whole lot. So now I'm just going to bring my thread up here. And I've got just some white bucktail. And I believe Scott did a Clouser a week or two ago using Kreh. That works really well as well. But
I think Zach just did one last week.
that's right. So I've got my white bucktail. I'm just going to trim it up at the end.
I always look at Clousers like a 1090. You know, it's always business in the front,
Yeah.
party in the back. You know? That's why, like, down south, they call them Kentucky waterfalls. Or marrow cuts, you know? So,
Okay, so I'm just going to take my thread. And you notice I just pulled that hair back so that it's not crowding the eye. Just going to lock it down right there. Bring it under, not over top of your nicely done up bucktail. I'm just going to pinch it. I'm just going to wrap it sort of tightly, just so that it's not going to spin on me. Now, I've wrapped it about, I don't know.
To the hook point.
To the hook point, yeah. Wrap it a little bit further. There we go. So I've got it tied in there. Now, I'm going to take my pink crystal flash. This stuff I love. It just makes everything pop. And I'm going to take 3-4 strands. not super specific. Just gonna line it up with the same length as the bucktail. Tie that in on one side.
Is that the professional noise?
Okay, so now I'm just gonna wrap it over top in some of my thread back. Wrap it back over top. Tie it in real well. Then I'm just gonna trim it off to where the rest of them. Then just let it sort of splay out. And then I'm gonna do that again with the pearl. I think in my description I've got crystal. But you get the idea. Just gonna do the same thing. Same thing with that. Just tie it in. Try and get a hold of these.
That's awesome.
Okay, so now I got it tied in right there. So now you can already see it's a party in the back.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely a beaver paddle there for sure. Beaver
Yeah.
tail. There's lots of different names for them. The old Canadian passport. Hockey hair.
Hockey.
Mud flap.
I like that one, mud flap.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna take about, I don't know,
Kentucky waterfall.
Kentucky waterfall.
Soccer rocker, that's another one. Or squirrel pelt. There you go.
Squirrel pelt.
Ape drape.
So now I've just got about half a, even a quarter width of pencil width of pink bucktail or deer belly hair. I'm just gonna tie that in right behind the eyes. I've just gone really soft just so that little ends don't splay all over the place as I poke myself in the hand.
Achy, breaky, bad mistakey.
We're just coming up with names in the back.
You guys are
Or-
Urban Dictionary. Yeah, we're all Urban Dictionary right now.
Okay, there we go. So now I've got pink bucktail or pink deer belly hair tied in. Then I got some chartreuse green bucktail. Now my fly you saw just a minute ago, I didn't have it quite long enough because I ran out. But now I want the same amount as I did on the front. So on the back. You can see that's perfect. Trim up the ends, but instead of wrapping it in front of the eyes, or behind the eyes I guess, again making sure that we don't go over the white. I'm just going to tie the chartreuse in. Again, sort of pulling it back. Lock it in place. And exactly quite seat this in the vise as I want to, but that's okay. There we go. So now we got that tied in. Now I'm just going to give it a quick whip finish. Now, one thing I hate with flies is when they completely, after 3 or 4 fish, they're just done. And so I like to try and at least get 4 fish out of these flies. I mean, like they're chum salmon, so they all look different after 1 fish. So I just whip finished that off. I'm using Superfly. Yeah, pretty much. I bomb-proofed my flies. So I'm I'm now gonna use my Dr. Slicks. Love these. And now I'm using some Solres thick UV resin. You can use thin as well. It's fine. This is a little bit better when you want to get it all over the place and not have to worry about it going everywhere. I'm just going to take it above, all the way down the hook shank. Oh, I forgot my bobbin. It's okay.
I've got one here too.
You got one?
I've got one here. That should be right here.
Thank you.
Quick,
Okay.
it's gonna set.
Yeah. Bang. Spinner to winner, buddy. You got the glob on the bottom and there.
Yeah. So I like to bomb-proof my flies there.
Yeah, if you can get an extra couple fish out of them, it's worth their time. Definitely.
Yeah, especially putting this stuff on. Okay, so now where's my UV light? Got it right here. Just gonna cure that up. And I sent these to Buddy down in Squamish, and I guess the river guys were having a tough time in that area and put these flies on and just killed it. So you can never go wrong with the basic patterns. There's variations of them, like what I just did with this. Clouser, it's not a very old pattern like your woolly buggers. It was made in 1985, so it's not a super old pattern, but it's effective. So
Funny how that just tied it together a little bit, eh?
oh yeah, this little bit of resin just completes the fly. And there you go. There's my.
Give her a nice little roll for us, man. We'll have a nice little look at her.
Just trim one little piece. There we go.
Nice slow roll, man. There we go. Looking sexy.
Good
Good job, Ethan.
We're
We're
gonna
Okay.
go up top and we'll let you sign out. Say hi to your mom. I know your mom's watching.
So
You better say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom. Love you.
That's right.
That's right. We love you, Mom.
I'll bring Dad home soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Now, man, sign out.
So this was my Remembrance Day Clouser. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, have a good Remembrance Day weekend, and see you later.